In this video, we're going to work with random numbers. And as I said, a random number, the function RND, generates a number between 0 and almost 1. So to create a number, like a dice roll, I need a high number and a low number. So if I roll the dice, the high number would be 6. I would then subtract 1 from it, plus 1. So 6 minus 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. So 6 times random plus a low number will give me a number between 1 and, in this case, 6. The other thing I need to do is I want to put that as a integer, because usually we want it to be an integer. And a number like 0.999 is not going to be much of an integer. Okay, so let's get started on this. So for guess the number, I need to launch Visual Basic, and I'm going to add a text box, a label, and a button to guess. So let me quickly do that. Here is a button, and actually I'm going to put 2 labels on. Label 1 for the display and label 1 for the instructions, and then a text box I'll put right here. So label 2, I'm going to change label 2. So I click on label 2 and I click on the text properties, and I'm going to say display a message. So guess my number between 1 and 100. So there's the instructions. Guess my number between 1 and 100. Here's a text box where we're going to guess. A button, I'll call the button guess. And really, if I'm making this, I should really encourage students to call this BTN guess. And label 1, I'll call LBL display. Okay, so let's start by making the program. The first thing I need to do is I need a secret number. So I'm going to double click on button, and before I do that, I'll click above button where it says public class form 1, and in the form declarations I can look for something. If I click in here, I can click on the form events. So it says form events, and one of the events is the form loading. So on form load, I can, it's just like another event, I can get the random number. So when the form loads up, I want to get a random number. And to get the random number, as I was talking, I wanted to use this formula here. High number minus low number plus 1 times random plus low number. And so I'm going to put that formula in here. But what are those? Those are variables. So I'm going to come up with those variables, and I'm going to make them constant variables. So constant high number as integer, and the high number is going to be 100. And my constant low number is going to be an integer, and it's going to be 1. So there's my high number is 100, low number is 1. So a number between 1 and 100. Finally, I'm going to make a variable called secret number, and it's going to be an integer, and I'm just going to declare it here. So what is secret number equal to? Well, secret number is equal to the integer of my guess, which is high number minus low number plus 1 times random plus low number. And that's in the textbook in case you're wondering and need to look that up. So that's how we generate a number between a high number and a low number. In this case, a number between 1 and 100. I stick it in form load, so when the program loads up, it's going to automatically execute this, and we'll have a secret number. Now, every time I guess, I want to see if my guess is correct. So I'm going to create a variable called guess, which is going to be an integer, and guess is equal to the value of my text box. And so I say me text box 1.text. So that is your guess. So whatever was in the text box. And then I'm going to use the if-then statements. And I'm going to say if your guess is smaller, so too small, than the secret number, I'm going to say that the label display, the text in it, is going to say guess, and I'm going to add some text, is too small. Guess higher. Okay, else, if that's not correct, what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if the guess is too big, if it's greater than the secret number. So if your guess is bigger than the secret number, then, I'll put the keyword then, I'm going to say that your guess, sorry, I should have made the text bigger. Your guess is too big. Guess lower. So I want a lower number. But if that's not the case, if this is true, it'll execute this. If it's false, it's probably too big. But if it's not too big, that means it's perfect because it wasn't too small and it wasn't too big. So I will say that me label display text equals U1. So let's test the game out. So I'm going to press play, and it'll take me 7 guesses or less, hopefully. So let's see how we do. So I'm going to start by guessing 50. 50 is too small, so I'm going to guess higher. I'm going to guess 75. This is guess number 2. 75 is too big. So I'm going to guess smaller, and I'm going to guess 63. 63 is too small. So I'm going to now guess 69. This is guess, what, number 5? 69 is too small. So I'm going to guess 66. Oh, shoot, I lost. Guess higher, 67. Oh, 68 then.
69 was too small.
Oh, 69 was too small. Whoops. Thank you. So I would have guessed 73. So let's go back a bit. 73. So I would have then guessed 71 and 71. Okay, thank you. Sorry. And I said I would guess at 9. Obviously, I was wrong. So that's how it works. Now, watch this. I'm going to play the game again. So I'm going to close this off and press play again. And guess what I'm going to guess? 71. Wow, I'm smart. You think, well, that's not very random. It is random. Last thing I want to tell you is something called randomize. The game will always give a random number, but to help you debug, it'll give the exact same random number every time on this computer. So what I can do to change that, if my game is working and I want to change it, in form load, I can put a keyword called randomize. And randomize will start the random number generator. So when I press play, and if I put 71 now, it's not going to be 71. Okay? So that's a guess number program.